Live from Tisdale Manor, it's time for the Cheeky Wench Hour. Now, here's Susan.
Happy Friday, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I was playing around with my setup today, so bear with me. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Hi, Bobby. How are you today, dear? I hope you're doing well. We got so many things I want to talk about tonight. Thank you, Shannon. A special thanks to Shannon Nemechek, our producer for the night. She's awesome, and I adore her to the moon and back. Lots of things I want to talk about tonight. Hi, Aurora. Hugs to you too, dear. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Don't let word get out that I am sweet, Shannon. I still got a few people on this planet that I want to think that I'm a raving freaking lunatic. So, shh. It's been I'm playing around with my lighting. So, show of hands, who else cried when they found out Queen Elizabeth died? I did. That was hard. I know I'm not British, okay? So I'm not part of the empire or whatever, the Commonwealth. But she was like the world's queen or the world's grandmother. And I just thought she was one hell of an awesome woman. Think about everything that she accomplished in her lifetime. And she still had the ability to remain non-political. And she did that with class and grace and strength. I did see someone shared this with me earlier today. It pissed me off. I'm going to pull it up here. Hang on. Where did that? Boy, I've got a lot. I got to scroll back a lot. Okay, hang on just a second. I try to stay non-political here. I really, truly do. And I don't think that this is political. I think this is just absolutely disgusting. A professor from Carnegie Mellon University drew criticism on social media after wishing England's Queen Elizabeth excruciating pain hours before she died on Thursday. Quote, I heard the chief monarch of a thieving, raping, genocidal empire is finally dying, Carnegie Mellon University professor Uju Anya tweeted on Thursday morning. May her pain be excruciating. I hate cancel culture. I really do. I hate cancel culture. I believe everyone is entitled to their opinion, and it's free speech. But just because you think it doesn't mean you ought to say it. And I just thought that was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And yeah, I think that was totally uncalled for. Yeah, karma's going to bite them hard, and I hope I'm there to watch. It hasn't been a genocidal, colonial, whatever in a very long time. And for someone to say something like that is just completely unacceptable, especially at that time. I don't wish death upon anybody, not even maybe one person in this world that I can think of, but I think if you knew why I thought that, you'd probably all agree with me, but that's something I'm just going to keep to myself. But as for the rest of the world, I don't wish for anybody's death, especially an excruciatingly painful one. I just think that's wrong. And it just pisses me off. But I thought she was an amazing, strong, beautiful woman. She was what my grandpa would have said, good people, right? Because she had a good heart. And she was strong, but, not like bench press strong or hear me roar strong or anything like that. She exuded that peaceful strength. And she kept her promise from that speech she gave on her 21st birthday, that her people would always come first above and beyond anything else. And she kept that promise. And she was just one hell of a great lady. So I just wanted to get that off my chest about how much I love Queen Elizabeth. And it's going to be hard for a while to say King Charles. I think he's going to do a fine job. Because if you stop and think about it, okay, just really stop and think about it. He's been in the longest apprenticeship program in the history of apprenticeships, right? He's been training for this since he was born, basically, right? And his mother set the most perfect example for him, and he will not be her, because he's not her, he's himself, but I think he's going to do a fine job. I really do. I'm not worried about it, but I'm not a member of the UK. I'm not British. I saw his speech today too, Shannon, and I thought that was really quite well done. Quite well done. And I think Camilla is going to do a fine job. And I did think about Princess Di today. Yeah. It's just been a hard 24 hours in that regard. So if anybody has any questions regarding writing or current events, just post them in the chat. There was a current event in the writing world that was recently brought to my attention that totally 100% pisses me off. And again, I got to scroll back to my through my messages here, so hang loose. It's regarding I hate to call her an author, but apparently she was, who took a bunch of money and ran, basically. She writes under the name Robin Andrews. I'm trying to get to the link with this really good article about what happened. There it is. This article was written by A.J. Downey. Okay, and you can go to ajdowney.com. That's AJDOWNEY.com. And it says, the title of this is called We Don't Want Your Kind Here. Yeah, she also writes as Riley something. So AJ writes, this is why it's a really bad idea to be a sex offender in the book world. There's no hiding. There are always receipts. Now, some of this is hearsay, but most of it's not. And without further ado, here we go. Okay. So this author in question took a bunch of pre-orders. She ran an anthology for a different signing that A.J. Downing had no part of, right? She took orders for paperback copies of the said anthologies, but when it came time to deliver, she didn't. And she did not deliver the funds for the electronic copies of the books to the designated charity or the event organizer to hand to charity, or however the blanket was supposed to work, but she digresses. So what she did was she took a bunch of book orders for paperbacks of this anthology that was supposed to be for charity. She never delivered the paperbacks to those readers who pre-ordered. She never sent the money to the charity or the event organizer or anything. She kept the frickin' money. The money that the said author was in charge of getting Okay, the money that said author was in charge of getting it to where it was supposed to go got up and went, but who knows where. I speculated that her own coffers, but that's the whole guilty until proven innocent thing, so this is all allegedly right now. And yes, we have to say allegedly, and that really pisses me off. But I love how A.J. Downey wrote this, and I don't know A.J. Downey, never heard of her before this. And she says, anyway, I digress. The event organizer for my event let me know as a result of the aforementioned alleged theft, people involved with that mess had started digging and not only discovered author Robin Andrews, aka Riley Dawson, legal name Judy Funk, has some other pending legal troubles going on, namely 12 counts of fraud. 12. Might not sound like a lot, but I think that's a lot. And in this article, she gives the link where you can go to read them. It's all there. And yep, this sure looks like Robin Andrews, a.k.a. Riley Dawson, legal name Judy Funk. I'm not sure who did it, but after finding this shit, someone decided to look up her husband, and this is where stuff gets real. And there's a link where you can go look at the Michigan Sex Offender Registry. The guy standing with her, let's look at that statute a little closer. But that was what he pled down. What he was actually charged with: first-degree sexual assault, fourth-degree child abuse, and solicitation. So this guy is a known child sex... we can't say it, can we? What do we call him? An offender of children. And his wife stayed with him. And now she's stealing money. Yeah, he's an SA. He is an SA. And I'm going to say he's an ass SA. Hi, Ashley. This just absolutely, there's so much to unwrap in this. Just so much to unwrap. First, the author takes the money and runs. Not just once. Not just twice. Not just 3 times. She has done this multiple times before. Okay? And then come to find out that her husband, who has been convicted of CSA, has gone to book signings with her where children were present. My first question out of all of this is, how in the hell can you stay with someone who's done that? I don't get it. Not here to judge. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I just don't get it. How in the hell? Don't even try to explain it to me, because I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to understand it. I would rather live on the streets of Calcutta and drink water from the Ganges River than to stay with a convicted CSA. That's just me. Just my personal opinion. But that aside, she took the money and ran multiple times. And she's got multiple counts of fraud against her. And you can go read all this at the website. It's just... Okay, so this is an update I didn't see. So it seems Judy Robin Funk is just as bad as her husband. She was charged and served probation for 4th degree CSA around the same time he was charged. Good God Almighty. Now, we had a really great discussion in my Sprinters group yesterday about how this gives indie authors a bad name. And I understand their point. I really, truly do. I get it. I understand how this gives indie authors a bad name when people behave this way. My point was in that discussion that you have this in, it doesn't matter what your career is. I don't know how many of you follow Judge Grady out of Florida, but there was another arrest. Big arrest for ST, which would be sex trafficking. Okay? And those arrested, one was a teacher, one was a police officer, one was a correctional guard, and of course, one was an employee of Disney. But there were tons of other people arrested in this bust. I don't get it. Right? I just, yeah, really? Yeah, seriously, that's true. Anytime Judge Grady's on, I like how he calls everybody out. I do. He does not suffer fools lightly, and he doesn't pull any punches. I just don't know how people can hurt people. I just, either physically, emotionally, or mentally, I just can't wrap my head around that. Yeah, there's no logic to the illogical. There just really isn't. I'm never going to make sense of it. It's impossible for me to make sense of it all. But my point is that it doesn't matter what your job is, what your career is. You're going to have scumbags. Doesn't matter if it's a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, politicians, God knows, whatever. You're going to have people who behave in this manner in all walks of life. Yeah. So yes, it does to a certain extent give indies a bad name. However, I believe that those of us who are here tonight, those of us who are what I consider true authors, people who actually sit down and write their books, and they're real people, just trying to get through life unscathed or, with as few bruises as possible. I think our light far outshines their darkness. And that's just my 2 cents. But I can't even. And I mean, this is not the first time, someone's taken the money from a fundraiser and ran with it. And now the rumor is her husband and her kids are trying to say that she has a brain tumor and that's why she did it. I want to see the frickin' MRI. I want to talk to the doctor who read the MRI before I say, oh, poor lady. But a lot of this crap has happened multiple times over the years. Yeah, right? So I'm sorry. No, that's not an excuse. That is absolutely not an excuse for any of this crap. And I'm not going to believe it until I personally sit down and talk to the physician, the doctor, who actually diagnosed her with a brain tumor. I don't, generally, I like to do my own research and do my own digging and find out the facts for myself. I'm not one to jump on a bandwagon. You all know me. I don't do that. I research the hell out of stuff before I make any public statements or public comments. And I usually try to give people some grace, take things with a grain of salt, but not this time. Absolutely not this time. Was it the brain tumor that caused her to do, what she did, to get arrested along with her, what husband? Maybe he has a brain tumor too. Who knows? Hang on, I'm getting a message. Just a minute. I don't know, Shannon, what you're showing me. Oh, God, idiots. Just more people being stupid. Anyway, so you gotta vet people. You just have to vet people. You just really... That's why my circle is so tiny. So very, 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 very tiny. Maybe it's the older I get, the more pessimistic I get. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the fact that I've seen enough shit over the years that I just... Right? Anyway. That just really pissed me off. It just... So, does anybody have any questions? Anything they'd like to say? Anything they'd like to ask or know? And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and share. I would appreciate that, because every time you hit like and every time you share, it helps my algorithms. And I'm learning just how important algorithms are on YouTube, because I do want to be seen. Meaning, the more people who see me, the more people I can help, right? With their writing. And that's what, Cheeky Wench is all about. It's all about the writing, improving your writing, improving your skills and etc. But Friday night is basically we'll talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. But Wednesday night is definitely all about writing. And you guys know me, I try not to be political. I really truly do. But something I learned today, it was a day, people. It was a day, and now my nose, for whatever reason, is starting to just really itch. So today I learned, this has absolutely nothing to do with the book world, absolutely zero zip zilch, nothing at all to do with the book world. You can call it politics if you want to, I don't care. But I just found out come January 2023, Illinois will now be a no cash bail state. Meaning you can get arrested for the following things: aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced murder, homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, and threatening a public official. And the police can't detain you. Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. A live writing sprint? That would be an absolute blast. It'd have to be during the day. I don't write very well at this time of night. Either later or earlier. But anyway, I know. How can you... Okay, so this is their reasoning. And this is called the Illinois Safety Act. Under the new law, if you are charged with a crime on the list below, the one I just read to you, you will be able to be released without bail pending a court date. So I could kill somebody, second-degree murder, and not have to post bail. I could kidnap somebody. I could rob somebody. I could threaten a public official. I could do all sorts of things and not have to post bail. Okay, it goes back to them saying, well, just because you can't punish people because they can't afford to post bail. I agree with that to a certain extent. Maybe you got a speeding ticket, jaywalking, whatever, shoplifting. But second-degree murder, intimidation, kidnapping, aggravated burglary, that means you had a weapon of some sort. Doesn't matter if it was a gun, a knife, a sword, you had a weapon. Yeah. I know, it just boggles my mind. I know, it just boggles my mind. There's a whole lot more I would love to say on that subject, but I promised you all I wouldn't get political. But I just think this is one of the most ridiculous things, and we're not the first state to do it. Lots of states are doing it, and it hasn't worked well. We'll just put it that way. I told you it was a day. It was a day. It was just a really, God help me, day. I'm trying to see if anybody has any questions or comments. I told you tonight was going to be a free-for-all. On AI and people selling AI covers. is when I hear AI, I think artificial intelligence. Yeah, mine too, Bobby. Mine too. But it's not fair to the criminals because, just because they can't afford bail, they shouldn't have to stay in jail. Because, they're not going to repeat. They've been arrested, so they're not going to repeat another crime. I will bet you dollars to sand that they're going to continue to commit crimes. So what's the book drama on AI, Shannon? I don't understand what that is. Is that artificial intelligence? So artificially... Well, I lost all digital in my van on the way to the bank. No radio, no windows, no turn signals, nothing. Then suddenly it came back. Oh, wow. That's been your day? Well, I hope it gets better, Aurora. What is that? What is that weapon that can knock out? It's like an electromagnetic something or other. I wonder. That wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if something like that happened. AI programs are using internet scans and Oh, I see. Very, very interesting. I'm going to have to dig in on that, Shannon. But I don't know how artificial intelligence can claim a copyright. Maybe that artificial intelligence identifies as a human. I don't know. But I don't think somebody's got to be running the AI program, right? Somebody has to be running that program. So it's the person who's running the program that is now claiming copyrights. I'd like to see them try and do that with one of mine, with one of my covers. Exactly, some artificial intelligent person behind that. Yes, exactly. It's ridiculous. Sometimes I think the whole world is being run by artificial intelligence and there's a tremendous glitch in the system and we just need to shut down and reboot. But I digress. Just looking to see if y'all have questions or comments or anything else you want to talk about, anything you want to fill me in on, because I've been apparently out of the loop for a while. Did anybody get any writing done today? I didn't get a word in. I had to go to the dealership with my husband today. It was, yeah. And so I came home. We came back, and then they called and said the computer's fixed. So he went back, and the computer was fixed for all of, 20 minutes, and then it went again. So it was just a day. And so I decided to take a nap. I had an upset stomach, and I decided to take a nap. And it was a much-needed nap. In my nice, quiet office with the doors shut, the lights turned down low, I took a nap. What else do we want to talk about? Your cat. See, this is one more reason. I have lots of reasons why I don't have pets. Lots of reasons. Don't get me wrong. Don't come at me. I love animals. I do. I've been around animals my entire life. Love animals. I just don't want them in my house. And that's okay. No, my new notebook has not arrived yet, Bobby. It is scheduled for tomorrow at some point. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to getting that new notebook with the reusable paper. I just think that's wicked cool. And I hope it works as awesome as it says it does. I have no idea. Thank you, Shannon. I'm looking forward to the new notebook. Oh, I'm also looking forward to my nose to stop itching. I think I might be allergic to my loose powder. I love loose powder, like setting powder. if anybody can recommend a really good loose powder for me, I would appreciate that. Oh, you had messaged it to me on Facebook. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. I will take a look at it. For my makeup recommendations, y'all, we were talking about this a while back. My mascara. I said it was called Level Up. Well, I thought Level Up was the name of the company. It's not easy being me. I just make it look like it is. But it's actually UOMA by somebody. I can't read it. And I got some new one. Oh, this is Level Up. Sorry. This is Level Up by Uma. Or Uoma. UOMA. Just Google it. I just love this mascara. I can't tell you the number of times people have asked, are you wearing false eyelashes? No, I'm not. Oh, Golden posted it? Okay, I will look for that. But I absolutely, and no, I don't get paid for this. I just like sharing makeup. I love makeup. I do. I put my makeup on 360 days of the year. There's a couple days when I don't. But I just feel more professional, like I'm going to work when I do hair and makeup. And I've just started playing with makeup again after, using the same stuff all the time. This new lip gloss I got is Floss Gloss by the same company, UOMA. And when I tell you this is the prettiest pink color, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that is it. I love it, except it's really super shiny. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Thank you. Let's go take a look at this AI stuff. Let's take a look. Because I do find that fascinating, but I'll still need to do a bunch of research on this from the legal perspective. Let's see. Okay, how about you giving me my messages? To hell? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so this is a really long post that I'm going to have to read. Okay. I'm going to have to go through the copyright laws to get a better understanding of what Golden is trying to say. That's okay, Shannon. But yes, I'm looking forward to my new notebook arriving. That's going to be exciting. It's erasable. Really cool. Oh, our local restaurant, our favorite restaurant, Main Street Restaurant, Creve Coeur. Seriously, you will not, I defy you. You can search this planet over and you will not find a better omelet on this planet anywhere. You just won't. But they make the most amazing chili. But they took it off the menu for the summer months, which has devastated my grandson. We went to lunch one day, and he wanted to get his normal bowl of chili and then a cheeseburger, and they said, we don't have chili now. It won't be back on the menu till the fall. And you can just see, he goes, oh. He looks at me and he goes, Grandma, why are we even here? So it's back on the menu. So I have to take him out for chili for breakfast tomorrow morning. He doesn't care. So I'm going to take him out for chili for breakfast. He is so excited he can't see straight. He's like, Grandma, the day. Well, I wasn't going to tell him it was on, a couple days ago, but then they ran out, so it was a good thing he didn't know. But I know, right? And I mean, I'm serious. This chili is so good. I think I make a really great chili. It is nothing compared to what this guy makes up at Main Street in Creve Coeur. I'm serious. If you ever get to this area, you've got to go to Main Street in Creve Coeur and just get an omelet or the burgers. That they have the best burgers. I don't care for their tacos simply because they use a really finely minced filling for it, and it's a textural thing with me. It tastes really good, but I have textural issues and I can't eat the taco stuff. But I have yet to get anything on there that was, everything has been delicious. But the omelets, oh my God, the omelets. These omelets, I don't know what they do to it. I don't know if they're making it with real cream or what, but it's just, oh my gosh. And that's like the only time I clean my plate is with the omelet. And I recommend if you do get them, get the American fries. I prefer those over the hash browns, and I do love hash browns, but their American fries are even better. And my granddaughter loves their Mickey Mouse pancakes. It's just shaped like Mickey Mouse. It's just too funny. Now I'm getting hungry again. I made, I call it taco bake. I made that for dinner last night, and so there was leftovers, so I had this tonight for dinner. But it's just ground beef drained, and then I make my own taco seasoning mix from scratch and add that into the beef along with a can of whatever beans I want, and drained, of course, and then a can of drained corn. And then I Pam spray my cooking dish and lay down tortilla shells, meat, cheddar cheese, tortilla shells, meat, cheddar cheese, tortilla shells. So, and oh, it's so good. It is so scrumptious. It is even better the next day. So far tonight, I've shared with you a recipe, my favorite makeup, my opinions on scammers, which is whatever her name is. God, that still makes me mad. That still makes me mad. How can you do that? How can people sleep at night knowing that they have stolen money from other individuals? Individuals who are supposed to be, you know, your I hate the word comrades, but and friends doesn't necessarily work, but your associates, those people in the writing community that are, you know, you're supposed to all have each other's backs. And she did, but she was reaching for their wallets. Thank you, Shannon. He has several posts about the AI stuff. I'll dig into that later, honey. I don't want everybody to just sit here and watch me read. Because sometimes okay, oh my gosh, so is this? And then I'll go research, okay, what does the statute actually say, blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, yeah, our knife. Yeah, she was putting a knife in these people's backs. It just pisses me off how anybody can do that. It just does. And, I mean, this is not... How did she scam people? For those joining late, this author has on multiple occasions taken pre-orders for paperbacks for charities, anthologies, and then didn't deliver the paperbacks and didn't refund anybody their money. She kept the money. So that's how she scammed them. So anyway, I don't know how people can treat people that way. I just really don't. I've never... It's not, you know, we don't compete against each other, right? We're not in competition with each other. Just because I'm successful doesn't mean you can't be in this business, right? Books are consumable. They are, I mean, just because readers are going to read more than one book by more than one author, right? So we're not in competition that way. Yeah, we all want to be number one on the bestsellers list, and we'd all love to hit the New York Times bestsellers list, but I honestly think you have to have a picture of the editor in an intimate position with a goat in order to get on that. But I digress. You know, we all want to make money, and we all want, you know, to hit lists and stuff, and we all want our readers to love our books and leave awesome reviews. But just because that happens to one author doesn't mean it can't happen to lots of authors, right? We're supposed to be supporting each other, not tearing each other down, not screwing each other over by stealing money. And that's one of the reasons in the beginning I just loved this indie community so much. It was an awesome place to be because everybody was learning together and everybody was helping each other and supporting each other and lifting each other up. And boy, I found out the hard way that, it's not necessarily true. And those people who you thought were your friends weren't. But I digress. But again, we're not, we should all be in this together, helping and supporting each other, being kind to one another, being generous to one another, not stealing money and stabbing people in the back. And they quickly learned how to play the system or game the system, and that's what's really sad. And Amazon lets it continue to this day, and I digress. What other questions? Should we change out topics? To have questions. Questions you just really need to know. Anything you're just dying to know or understand better. Why is my nose itching so much? I swear. I refreshed my powder, and I've got to find a better powder, because when I always put my makeup on after I've taken my Zyrtec, but when I touch it up later in the day, it itches. Yeah, it's one of those days. So I've got to go tomorrow on a mission to find a better powder that won't make me want to rip my skin off my nose. I can't use the cream to powder Shannon. I love that stuff, but it settles in my wrinkles so much that it's not even funny. And then it just cracks, and it just looks like, old plaster walls that are crinkling and falling apart and have had water damage. Oh. Spackle. Yes, spackle. That's what it looks like. Spackle. I use the foundation. Yeah, I wish, right? No, I use all that I have. In fact, this is stuff that I have to replace. So this is what I use. I know this has nothing to do with writing. I don't really care. It's Friday night. So this stuff, which I absolutely love, is by Anastasia. I don't know if you can... Is that how that works? How do they do that? It's a eye primer that has color built into it. It's like an eye primer concealer combination. It's by Anastasia of Beverly Hills, I think. I see all this stuff, all these little trial things I get in my Ipsy bag every month. And those things that I love, I keep aside and then just order. This one is called Winky Lux. It is a Peeper Perfect eye primer. I liked that one. And this one, I can't even read it anymore, but it was like, I have to go back to my Ipsy order and see what it was. But this thing here, it was like some kind of serum, but it had these little black something or others in them, right? And they would dissolve when you put it on your skin. I wish I knew the name, but I gotta go back. And then 3 ships. Oh my gosh. Dewdrops. 3 ships. Hang on. Just a second. Let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. So if you can see this, it says 3 ships, dewdrops. And this is a dewdrops, mushrooms, hyaluronic acid, vitamin C serum. And I absolutely love this stuff. And these are empty, and I had to reorder them. But what I don't like is that I've got to order, because these are all by 4 different people, 4 different companies. I've got to place 4 different orders. So I'm on a mission. Primer. It could be the Kills. I don't know. I can't read it anymore. I wore off the front of it. Or it's just, I don't know. I'll try and find it later. You did that? You worked as a Mrs. America pageant? Awesome. That's so cool. That is so cool. Kills is an interior house paint. Roberta, you are such a smart ass. God, I love you. So I gotta tell you, funny. So my grandson's doing homework, and he has to answer these questions about himself. Things he wishes his teacher knew. What kind of things does he wish he could get extra help with? Blah, 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 blah. And then one of the questions was, tell me something that you're really good at. My grandson put, I'm fluent in sarcasm. That was his answer. I'm fluent in sarcasm. God help me. I think that's cool, Shannon, that you trained as a makeup artist. You have had such a cool life. Yeah, I know, right? Right? That was his answer. I'm fluent in sarcasm. And I'm like, well, you're really good at riding your scooter, and you're really good at rapping. He can do Rap God by Eminem. Geography, oh my gosh. He can look at a map without any names on it, any names, any writing, anything at all. And he can tell you what each of the countries are, what their capitals are, what their flag is. I mean, he loves geography and history. Me too, Shannon. I love to try new things and learn new things. I do too. But yeah, I was kind of proud of him. I'm at first he put, I'm fluently fluent in sarcasm. And then he stopped and thought, I don't think that's the correct structure of that sentence. So I'll just say I'm fluent in sarcasm. I would have loved to have been there when his teacher read that. Same here, Shannon. I know a little bit about a lot of different things, and that's okay. That's what makes life goes around. So what other questions does anybody have? Anybody? Bueller? It's going to be a good weekend. I can just feel it in my bones. It's going to be an awesome weekend. Jack of all trades and a master of none. But let's dig into that for some interesting facts that I think you're going to go, holy crap, I didn't know this. So, okay, the full quote. Let's see. Okay, so the full phrase is, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. Let that sink in for a minute. Okay? Because that means you're a very well-rounded individual. When you know a lot of different things about a lot of different things, right? But you're not necessarily a master at one individual thing, that means you're well-rounded and you're going to be more successful than the person who can only focus on one single solitary thing and nothing else. Okay? I know how to do awesome makeup. I do. I used to do pencil portraits of people, colored pencil portraits in a previous life. I can do that. Back in the day, I could change my own oil, gap spark plugs, replace the carburetor, change the tires, can still do that, but with all these new engines and the computer parts, I'm just totally lost. I know how to drywall. I know how to fix a hole in the drywall. I know how to paint a house. I know how to garden. I know how to do a whole bunch of different things. Bobby said, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. God, I love you. Bobby, you're killing me tonight, dear. You're killing me. So I would rather know people who know a lot of different stuff about a lot of different stuff than one person who can only do one thing. To me, that's just boring. If I only need information on that one thing, then yeah, I would go to that master of that one thing, but I want to talk to somebody who's got a vast amount of knowledge about a vast amount of different subjects and topics and things. So, Otherwise, it's just life is boring. So what are some of the things you all can do that maybe nobody... Oh, that's okay, and Aurora. Never could do makeup. I'd rather write. Hey, that's okay. Not everybody can do makeup. That's all right. That's why you get friends who can. And that is what the YouTubes is for, because I love watching YouTube tutorials on makeup. I do. Especially for the hooded eye. Now, yes, I have a hooded eye. If you can see, I don't have one of those. I don't even know what it's called, but you know what I mean. Where this part's inset, I have hooded eyes. And that is actually from my Welsh ancestry. So, I followed Deepak something or other. Deepak. And she taught me how to apply makeup for hooded eyes. And I've learned a lot. So, how to make them look bigger and everything. I still think I need an eyelid lift. Ooh, fire alarm. Anyway. You tried, didn't turn out well. You know what? If first you don't succeed, you try again. I could sit here all night long and give you adages and proverbs and things like that. What's a typical writing day like for me? Good question, Ashley. It depends. It depends on the weather. It depends on who wants to aggravate me during the day. We'll just go with a good day. On a good day, it's coffee. That's ingredient number one for me to write a book is I've got to have coffee and my sweet tea in my sippy cup. I'm so bad. A good day is 5,000 to 7,000 words. A good day would be for me, 5,000 to 7,000 words, just completely focused, sprinting with other authors. I am competitive in that nature, in that respect, only that I want to get more words in a 30-minute time span than anybody else, because I just do. I want something. But yeah, typical writing days for me is I get up and have my morning coffee and I play Merge Mansion and then I start writing. I usually have everything off. Sometimes if there's a lot of stuff going on outside, like the other day, my guys were outside doing landscaping and they had a power washer going. It was a beautiful day. Oh my God, it was a beautiful day. It would have been the most glorious day to sit out on my deck in that breeze and just write. But the guys were working on landscaping. So I went to the park. I changed it up. But yeah, typical writing day for me is in my office over at my other desk with my laptop. And 5,000 to 7,000 words a day. Lots of coffee drinking and peeing. And eating junk food. Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant, sweetheart, Ashley? I hope that helps. I hope I answered your question. Now, there are other days where I'm trying to write and in the phone will ring. And there are certain phone calls. I have my phone set up that if you are not in my contacts list, it goes straight to voicemail. Okay, because I get too many, we'd like to speak to you about your car's extended warranty scam calls. So I have that set up. So I always take phone calls from my kids and my grandkids, no matter what. Top priority, my husband, of course, and my dad. But there are some days when the phone will not stop ringing. It's like you remember when your kids were little and you swore to God every time you sat down to just take a breath and rest for 2 minutes. It was like you hit some kind of invisible button and your kids all of a sudden needed you, right? There are days when it feels like that with writing. I sit down and it's like I no sooner sit down and get my fingers on the keyboard to write and the phone will ring. Or I'll get a text message from my dad. What are you doing? I'm thinking about coming up for lunch. Shit. And my dad's 79. I'm not going to have a whole lot of lunches left with him, right? So I'm not telling my dad no. If he wants to come up and have lunch with me, by God, he's going to come up and we're going to go to lunch. And we're going to go to Main Street in Creve Court and we're going to have omelets. Or I might get a burger or a turkey club. I love their turkey club. So then, spend the day with Dad, come back, and maybe I'll only get 1,000 words in that day. Or some days I might only get 500 in. Okay? And that's okay, out of the 5,000 to 7,000 words, do you find you have to clean up the next draft a lot? Sometimes when I write fast, it's hard to edit because my first draft. See, I don't have that, and this is not me being a braggart or anything. I thought I was a messy writer, and Catherine Lynn Davis, she's a New York Times bestselling author several times. She's also my editor, and I love her to the moon and back, and she's a beautiful soul. But anyway, she's my editor. And I made that comment once that I was, that I just, that I write the book. 99% of the time, I don't go through it to edit before I send it to her. By the time I'm done with the book, I'm done with the book. I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't want to mess with it anymore. I just want it off to the editor. And then she'll send back her recommendations and stuff. And so I thought that, and I usually, it's so bad, I'll just read her comments. And then I'll pay attention to the comments. The comments that she gives me are always vitally, vitally important. And I will do whatever she says in the comments. I will fix whatever issue she has found, blah, blah, blah. But for the rest of it, like commas and sentence structure and whatever, accept all. Yep, accept all. Read the comments, accept all. And I thought that she was doing a lot of cleaning up on my manuscript. And she said, no, Susan, you're a very clean writer, meaning your books are almost always, very, very seldom is there a serious issue with any of your books. Okay. But then, and Catherine isn't there to find typos or insert commas or semicolons. That's not her job. She's my developmental editor. She helps me get beautiful stories written. She helps me with fleshing out characters and fixing problems with the plot or whatever. When we're done with it, and there are times when Catherine's actually added typos to a manuscript, and I'm okay with that because that's not what I'm paying her for. I'm paying her to help me make really great books. Then we send it to the final proofer, and she calls me. It's my daughter. My God, Mom, how many times have I had to explain to you what a dangling participle is? Mom, how many times do I have to explain to you the rules of em dashes and semicolons? Quit explaining it to me because I'm not going to pay any attention to it. That's what I pay you for. Just friggin' fix it. I don't need to know why. But Mom, it drives me nuts. I don't care. I don't care. Just fix it. So isn't that awful? Isn't that just awful? But that's my process. When I'm done with the book, I'm done with the book. I don't want to go back over it. I don't want to reread it. I have done this where I've gone, waited a couple years, and then usually in the wintertime, I'll pick up one of my older books that's a couple years old, and I'll reread it. And one of my favorite books to reread, and I know this is silly, but it's Wager of the Heart. I just loved writing that book. That was a fun book. So, and it's a fun book to read. It's hilarious. Oh, Shannon's the exact same way. Thank God I'm not the only one. So, yeah, I'm lucky that, because I think, while I'm actually writing, I'm not just, puking out words, right? I don't write like that. I do in my mind pay very close attention to what it is I'm putting on the paper. And I will definitely stop and reread a paragraph and think, that's just not working. And so I'll rewrite it. Aurora says, sometimes I'm typing so fast my brain and fingers don't keep up. Exactly. When I go back, I often find gaps of where I thought I wrote it but didn't. Then I puzzle it together. Or I'm going off to the left field and wonder what I was writing. Yep. Done that once. I have. Now, sometimes another part of my process is in all caps, come back to this. So if I'm working on a book and I'm at a particular scene, I know it's an important scene. I need this scene in there, but I can't. Something's not clicking. I will just type in, come back to this. And then I will move on. And then one of the things I do before I send it off to Catherine Lynn is to find all the come back to this, and then I fix them. Or I could be working another passage and go, okay, now I get it. So I'll go back to that, come back to this, and fix it. Yeah, side notes. Side notes are always a good idea. Who's texting me? Who's messaging me? Shannon, is that you? I love Shannon. We have so much fun. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, we do. We have a lot of fun. But yeah, side notes are really, really important. Okay, Shannon, damn it. It won't. It can't close out. Oh, there it is. Sorry, hang on just a second. Oh, thank you, Shannon. She was letting me know that we're at an hour now. So, but yeah, that's my writing process. Any other questions? Because we have no time limits tonight. We'll just sit here and I'll answer questions not all night. But yeah, I snort. I snort when I laugh. I can't help it. It's something I've done since childhood. And it drives my dad nuts. It really does. I'll snort in front of him and he'll start going, did you think that was funny? It's like, oh, shut up, old man. Keep in mind, I'm going to pick out your nursing home someday. Be nice to me. But I love my dad. He's pretty cool. He's one hell of a storyteller. He really, truly is. He's a good guy. He's a pain in the butt, but he's a good guy. So did I tell you what he did to me last week? Did I tell you all what my dad did? So I'm getting ready to write. I'm having my morning coffee. I'm have gotten dressed and I'm ready to go when I get a text from my dad. What are you doing? And I didn't even get a chance to respond. He says, I'm thinking about coming up. Like, okay. In fact, I'm on my way. I'm like, okay, well, I should have an hour. Maybe I can write for an hour. No, he was 10 minutes away. So he gets here and I'm running around and I had to mop my floor or something. So anyway, he comes in and about 15, 20 minutes later, he says, hey, Kevin, I need you to come outside and look at something for me. So I'm mopping floors, not really paying a whole lot of attention. And about 10 minutes later, they came back in and Kevin's just shaking his head. He said, I can't believe it. The paint is peeling off of your dad's car. And I'm like, it's only a year old. This car's only a year old. It's a Jeep. How in the hell can the paint be peeling? And my dad says, well, they only give you a 1-year warranty on the paint. I'm like, no, they don't. He says, yeah, they do. And then Kevin says, well, I think he likes the color that's underneath that paint better. And I'm like, y'all are not making any sense. So I didn't think anything of it. About 5-10 minutes later, I went outside. And I look, and I'm like, whose car is that? He bought a brand new car. It was not a white Jeep. He got the most beautiful, I think it's called Jungle Green or something like that, Kia Sportage, and this thing is an absolute blast to drive. An absolute blast. But it's like, why did you guys go through all that? They like aggravating me. They do. They just love to aggravate me. They get joy in it. And it's like, okay, whatever. Enjoy yourselves, you turds. Oh, but we drove it. I drove it that day. When he's over here, I drive. And it's a nice car. Very nice car. A couple weeks before that, we had test driven. Don't ask me why. He loves to go car shopping. This is one of his favorite things in the world to do. And it might take him 6 months to make up his mind. It might take him 6 minutes. So we went test driving, and we test drove some Kias, and we test drove the Kia, not the Sportage, the Sorento. Oh my God, I fell in love with that car. That was like being in a freaking Cadillac, but not at a Cadillac price, right? The interior of this car was just absolutely beautiful. Oh, I forgot to tell you what else I did this week. Okay. Yes, I'm usually living under a rock and not paying any attention to what's going on in the world around me, right? Because I'm focused or distracted or whatever. So I had to go get a follow-up sonogram on the tatas, or the tata, the other day, and everything's fine. It's not cancerous. It's just a little cyst. It's all good. Well, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon, and I realized I hadn't eaten yet. So very long story short, I went and got a Jimmy John's, and I was cruising around the shops of Grand Prairie. And then I see it, and it was like the skies opened up, and the rays of the sun came down on a place called Home Decor. I went in. I was such a good girl. I purposely did not get a cart. I just went in, to look around. Oh my God, people, picture Costco, but nothing but home decor. Seriously. Everything you can think of. Lamps, art, tchotchkes, furniture, rugs, vases, just candles. I mean, furniture, like real furniture, like sofas and love seats, and then decorations, the paintings. Oh my God, the paintings and the art. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Shannon. It was like, seriously, it's like Costco and Wayfair had a baby. Okay, that's what it is. So Costco without the food. Okay, Costco with nothing but home decor in it. And really nice home decor, but not outrageously expensive home decor. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a live from there next week. I got to take my best friend Shelly. She wants to go and check it out. So I'm probably going to do a live from there. Oh my gosh, I'd never heard of this place before. I'd never seen it before. It's in the old Bergner's building at the Shops of Grand Prairie. Oh my God. Oh. Manna from heaven, baby. Manna from heaven. But I didn't buy one single solitary thing. I was so proud of myself. I want to be able to have one store in this world that I'm allowed into without a chaperone. So I thought, next time I come, I'll make sure I have the credit cards with me. And I won't tell Kevin that I'm going. But man, they had this Chesterfield love seat that was just absolutely perfect. Other than it was a love seat, and I need a sofa. I need a new sofa for my living room. And they have dining room furniture, and just, oh my God, people, you have no idea. If you see a home decor, go. You don't have to buy anything. But I'm serious. I just walked around and walked around and walked around. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They have that. Oh, that's so pretty. I can't tell you the number of times I went, oh, that's so pretty. So the one thing I'm going to go back and get is this big painting of Scottish Coo, the Scottish cow. And it's all framed, and it's got a glass, beautifully framed. Yes, I'm going to go back and get that. I've always wanted, but the ones I've always seen have been like little Scottish Coos. I don't want a little one. I want a great big one I've got 10, 12-foot ceilings in my dining room, my kitchen. I want a big picture. So, and it's going to go over my new buffet in Hutch. I'm so easily amused. It's not even funny. But it was just absolutely, that's what we should do. We should all do a day trip to home decor, all of us. You all come see me. We'll go to home decor and shop. We'll do lunch. We'll go to Main Street. That would be so much fun. Anyway, well, it's 10 after 8, and I think we're going to tie it up for the night. Bobby, don't have a dirty mind about that. Yeah, you'd have to bring your truck. Yes, definitely bring your truck. But I have things that I need to do, and I just have to run. And there you go. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for listening to me babble tonight, and thank you for being here. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, tell your friends about Wednesday nights with the Wench, because that's when we get down and dirty, do deep dives with writing. And I just want to thank you all so much for being here. I really, truly do appreciate it. And I hope that everybody has an awesome, awesome weekend. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.